Stop. Stop trying to force discipline. Stop telling yourself that you're lazy, weak, or broken. Stop believing that discipline is something you either have or don't have. Because the truth is this: your brain is not rejecting discipline. It is rejecting how discipline has been framed to you. And if you stay with this video until the very end, you'll discover a powerful insight most people never hear. An insight that explains why discipline suddenly becomes easier, even enjoyable, once a certain inner switch is flipped. This is not about pushing harder. It's about understanding your mind deeply enough that it wants to cooperate. Why discipline feels so hard, and why that's not your fault. Most people grow up with the same story about discipline. Discipline means forcing yourself. Discipline means doing what you hate. Discipline means pressure, restriction, and self-control. So naturally, your brain learns to associate discipline with discomfort and threat. And here's the problem: your brain is not designed to obey threats. Your brain is designed to keep you safe. From a psychological perspective, especially one influenced by the work of CarlJung, resistance is never random. Resistance always has a reason. It always protects something. So when you feel resistance toward discipline, the correct question is not, "What's wrong with me?" The correct question is, "What is my mind trying to protect me from?" The brain's primary job is safety, not success. Your brain does not wake up every morning thinking about your long-term goals. It doesn't care that you want to be more productive next year. It doesn't care about abstract ideas like self-improvement. Your brain asks one simple question over and over again: Am I safe right now? If discipline feels like pressure, if it feels like deprivation, if it feels like self-punishment, your nervous system interprets it as danger. And when the brain senses danger, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It resists. That resistance might show up as procrastination, or fatigue, or distraction, or suddenly losing motivation. This is not failure, it's protection. The inner conflict nobody talks about. Inside every struggle with discipline, there is an inner conflict. One part of you wants growth, structure, and direction. Another part of you wants rest, comfort, and emotional safety. Most productivity advice tells you to crush the second part. But depth psychology teaches something very different. When one part of the psyche tries to dominate another, the psyche pushes back. That pushback is what you experience as self-sabotage. Not because you're weak, but because your inner system refuses to be ruled by force. Why willpower fails over time. Willpower works, briefly. You can force yourself for a while. You can push through for days or weeks. But eventually, something breaks. Why? Because willpower relies on tension. And tension is not sustainable. The psyche always seeks balance. When control becomes excessive, the unconscious compensates. This compensation might look like burnout, or emotional numbness, or sudden rebellion. This is why people cycle between extreme discipline and complete collapse. It's not a personal flaw, it's a psychological law. Discipline becomes easy when it stops being violent. Here's a key shift most people never make. Discipline fails when it feels like violence against yourself. Think about the language we use. I force myself. I push through. I beat procrastination. That language reveals an inner war, and no one can live at war with themselves forever. The mind will eventually choose peace, even if that peace looks like giving up. So the real task is not learning how to push harder. The real task is learning how to make discipline feel non-threatening. Trick number 1. Make discipline feel safe first. Your brain does not resist effort. It resists overwhelm. When you set huge expectations, every day, perfect routine, total transformation, your nervous system panics. Instead, discipline must begin below the threshold of fear. 5 minutes, one small action, one simple step. Not because small actions are impressive, but because they are safe. Safety is what allows momentum to form. Trick number 2. Stop using discipline to punish yourself. Many people unconsciously use discipline as punishment. I need to fix myself. I can't relax until I earn it. I don't deserve ease yet. The brain recognizes this instantly, and it refuses to cooperate with self-rejection. Discipline built on shame collapses. Discipline built on care stabilizes. Ask yourself honestly, does discipline feel like respect or condemnation? Your answer explains everything. Trick number 3. Shift discipline from results to identity. Your brain struggles to stay motivated by distant rewards, but it responds strongly to identity. When discipline becomes an expression of who you are, not a bargain for future success, resistance decreases. This is how I treat myself. This is how I show up for my life. This shift moves discipline from performance to integrity. And integrity is psychologically grounding. Trick number 4. Remove the emotional drama. Most people make discipline emotionally heavy. They wait for motivation. They judge missed days. They turn routines into moral tests. But the psyche prefers neutrality. Think of habits you maintain effortlessly. They're not exciting. They're not emotional. They're simply part of life. When discipline becomes calm and ordinary, it becomes reliable. Intensity feels powerful, but calm creates continuity. Trick number 5. Let discipline create structure, not pressure. Structure soothes the nervous system. Pressure activates defense. When discipline creates rhythm, predictability, and containment, your body relaxes. This is why routines eventually feel comforting. Discipline that creates safety sustains itself. Trick number 6. Reward. Showing up, not doing it perfectly. The brain learns through feedback. If reward only comes from results, discipline collapses. But when showing up is acknowledged, even quietly, the psyche associates discipline with relief. Completion matters more than performance. This rewires discipline from effort to closure. Trick number 7. Turn discipline into ritual. Rules feel cold. Rituals feel meaningful. Ritual creates a sense of safety and familiarity. A cup of tea, the same playlist, the same place, a small opening gesture. These signals tell the unconscious, this is safe. We've done this before. The psyche relaxes when it feels held. Trick number 8. Build self-trust through consistency. Every broken promise erodes trust. Every kept promise restores it. Discipline is not about productivity. It's about reliability to yourself. When your mind learns that you keep your word, resistance fades. Self-trust is one of the strongest motivators there is. Trick number 9. Allow imperfection without shame. Perfection destroys continuity. The psyche prefers consistency over intensity. Missing a day is not failure. Punishing yourself for it is. Returning calmly is discipline. That calm return teaches the brain, I won't abandon myself. Trick number 10. Discipline must serve meaning. The mind tolerates discomfort for meaning, not for ego. When discipline aligns with values, purpose, and inner coherence, it becomes energizing. Ask a better question. Who does this help me become? Meaning is the fuel discipline actually runs on. The Jungian core. Why resistance exists at all. From a Jungian perspective, resistance often comes from parts of the psyche that feel ignored. Fear, fatigue, doubt, sensitivity. When these parts are dismissed, they don't disappear. They go underground. And underground forces control behavior indirectly. This is why ignoring resistance creates sabotage. Listening to resistance creates integration. Discipline as integration, not control. The deepest misunderstanding about discipline is this. People think discipline is self-control. But from a depth psychological view, discipline is self-integration. It's the process of aligning conscious intention with the deeper self. When you stop fighting parts of yourself and start working with them, the inner war ends. And when the war ends, discipline becomes surprisingly easy. The insight promised at the beginning. Here is the insight you stayed for. Your brain begins to like discipline when discipline stops feeling like betrayal. Betrayal happens when you override your limits, when you silence your emotions, when you abandon yourself for an image. But when discipline becomes a way of staying connected to yourself, the nervous system relaxes. At that point, discipline is no longer forced. It becomes something you return to, naturally. You were never meant to dominate yourself. The psyche seeks wholeness, not control. When discipline becomes an act of self-respect instead of self-violence, everything changes. If this perspective resonated with you and you want more depth, clarity, and humane insight, you're welcome to subscribe to Soulful Wisdom Journey. Thank you for staying until the end.